The problem with feminist blogs and feminist websites, and this is a big problem. So I was watching this video the other day about how social media harms us, right? How social media, too much social media, or the addiction to social media, and specifically the addition of social media and the internet to our social lives, right? And they were making the point that men and women react differently to this new phenomenon, and how social media is sort of ruining our lives. Let me see if I can find that website real quick, just so you guys can go check it out, because it's really, really profound. But the point they were making, part of the point they were making was that women actually are, it's harder for women to deal with social media because women are more social and they're more emotionally invested in their social life. Whereas men, we are more practical and pragmatic, and we tend to team up for the positive when it comes to social media, particularly such as, like, the example of video games, and how video games can, we can learn teamwork through video games, and we team up to accomplish a goal, whereas women kind of do the opposite. They team up, or they don't team up. They split apart and they attack each other, because the way they're set up socially is all, the way they are in competition with each other is for, beauty and attention and things like that. So oftentimes social media can be a detriment. And the reason why I say this is because, social media can be used as a tool of either good or evil, right? And people who want to manipulate other people can often use propaganda, right? Propaganda, if you study that term historically, has been used to further war efforts, further evil war efforts, specifically such as what the Nazis did in Germany with the ostracizing of the Jew and things like that. They used propaganda in order to brainwash people, right? So, and yeah, I found that YouTube video. It's called "How the Modern World Makes Us Mentally Ill." So the reason why I mention that is because it talks about how women are socially sort of connected, right? And if people use social media in the wrong way to, spread disinformation, spread evil propaganda, it can be very harmful, right? I mean, that's not even to mention, like, how people are addicted to it, and how people, I'm posting these pictures, to get attention and thirst bait, which is very common on social media, Twitter, Facebook, right? Women are looking for beta male orbiters and followers, and so they can get their self-worth through that, right? I mean, that goes without saying. That's obvious. That's an obvious problem, right? But I'm talking about something more insidious, such as these feminist blogs, which is the topic of today's video, and these feminist websites, which spread disinformation, spread subtle hate, right? They spread really just insidious information, okay? And, this is something that we don't talk about a lot in the red pill community. This is something that nobody really talks about, but I would really look into, what magazines young women are buying and reading. Like, go read Teen Magazine, read Teen Vogue, read Cosmopolitan. These are, like, really, what's the word I'm looking for? These are really, brainwashing tools, right? I mean, if you pick up Teen Magazine or Cosmopolitan Magazine, it tells you how to give better head. It tells you how to, like, be a diva, how to gaslight guys, how to play games. Like, there's literally instructions on how to do that in these magazines, and it's no different on social media. It's like Twitter. You got these Twitter queen thoughts, these diva thoughts out there who are teaching young women how to be gold diggers, teaching young women how to emotionally hurt men, how to dump them at the right time when be most hurt, and how to get not retribution, how to get revenge, and how to hurt the man who cheated on you. And there's literally instructions. There's even books on Amazon on how to manipulate people using the dark energy, how to marry a man with money, how to ruin a man's life in 5 simple steps. And I'm not kidding, man. This stuff exists, right? So, like, how can people expect marriages to work? How can people expect society to be? I mean, everybody's focused on like who the president is, which is important. Like our president should be a quality man, because that's our leader. That's the person we look up to. He should be a quality human being, and we got no good candidates. We got asshole 1 and corrupt, wicked, lying asshole 2, right? And these are our options. And if you're looking up to something, somebody that's corrupt, or, I mean, this is how it works. This is how society gets damaged from the top to the bottom, is they have these things set up. And I remember in my day, in the 90s, we had rap music, right? And rap music corrupted. It corrupted me. It made me think I needed to be a gangster. It made me think I needed to be hardcore. It made me think that I was cool if I smoked weed, and I was cool if I was, a thug. And that for me was a lesson, in hindsight. Thankfully I survived. I could have been in jail. I could have been dead. And many people that happened to many people who followed that, insidious representative. Right? I mean, that's a representative. Like, be like me. I'm cool. Look at me. I'm smoking weed. I get all these girls, and it's because I'm a thug, right? And at some point, it didn't change. What changed was the pop culture. Like, what changed was those leaders, those singers changed. That era died out, and then all of a sudden, well, people are not going to jail as much as they used to. All of a sudden, people are not doing this as much, and it's like, yeah, but how many tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands or millions of young kids' lives were ruined because of that propaganda, that evil stuff from the top, and that's just one outlet. That's just one medium, the music industry, right? And you got divas like Kesha and Beyonce, Britney Spears, Mariah Carey, the list goes on, right? Taylor Swift, and go listen to their songs. Listen to the crap that they're talking about. Breaking up with guys, hurting guys, and being a slut, and it's okay to be a slut. And, look at me, I'm so sexy. As long as I'm sexy, it doesn't matter how bad my character is or how bad I am morally. These are the messages. And then we wonder why our young women are all sluts. We wonder why they're all messed up, and we wonder why they don't know how to treat a man, and they could never keep a relationship, or they're just loose. And we wonder, and it's like, well, there really is no wonder, because there is insidious things out there that are influencing our young people. And if I was a parent, I would never let my child get into feminism. I would never let my daughter listen to Beyonce or Kesha or whatever, right? Whoever that new star is. I don't know, Katy Perry. Who knows, right? Who knows who they have now? I don't listen to that shit, so I don't even know. And thank God. I'm not saying some of the melodies, the songs aren't good. I'm not saying these women can't sing. I'm not saying there's not like a melodic tune is nice. I'm not saying that. I'm saying listen to the lyrics. Listen to the message that's being... This is brainwashing. They've done studies that songs and even movies, there's a pattern within the songs and within the movies that if you place certain lyrics, or you place a certain mantra or saying, if you repeat the chorus a certain way, it's literally brainwashing you. Like, it literally influences your future decisions. And you have to wonder, well, is there an evil power? Is there an evil being that's doing it? There must be, because why would these things exist? Right? If humans are good and we want good things, why do we get turned on about bad things? Why do we gravitate towards negative things. Why are thugs cool? Why are slutty divas attractive? Right? Like there's something that's evil within us, or there's something that there's something there, but you can't admit the statistics. You can't admit the facts. You can't admit, or excuse me, not you can't admit, but you can't argue with the consequences of these things, and there are real consequences, right? And so I say all that to say, why would you read a feminist blog, right? Like, these are the enemies of men. These outlets, these news outlets, these feminist blogs, these feminist websites. And if you go read what they're saying, I made a video the other day that was going over a feminist. It's called The Hypergamous Life of all things. And it seems that these websites are out there and they're popping up, and it's just getting more evil and more evil, teaching you how to manipulate men, teaching you how to hurt men, gaslight men, teaching you, and they are using terms and buzzwords in order to designate, put certain types of men into boxes, such as men, red pill men, MGTOW men. They call us Zeta males, right? They call us incels. They call us woman haters and all this kind of stuff, because we tell the truth, right? They never dare to, they do, but they really can't, as far as arguing with the truths that we say. They try to, but it never really works. And for the most part, most of them don't even try to argue, because they know they can't argue. They know we're speaking the truth, so they try to demonize us, and they try to slander us, and which is, what happens when the argument is lost. When the argument is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. You just slander the person, because when if you could attack their character, then you can mar the message that they're speaking, right? And this is, basic, 21 rules of power, or whatever that is called, the 100 rules of power. It's basically one of them. Don't engage head on. Try to, it's a political tactic, right? Try to, mar and scorn the character of the messenger, right? Many men who speak the truth were really just messengers. Say, hey, this is the way it is. This is from our experience. This is we're just speaking the truth about the Matrix. And so what do they try to do? They try to, disengage our arguments by using slander, by attacking our character and saying, oh, you're only saying that because you can't get laid, or you're only saying that because, this or that, or because you're a loser, because, right? So it's like it, and it's effective. It's effective. There's many young men out there who do believe that. Why don't you go back to Reddit? Why don't you, get on 4chan or something? Like, I've never been on Reddit. I don't study the red pill on Reddit. I don't go to 4chan, right? Everything that I talk about comes out of my daily life, comes out of all my experiences with dating. 10 years in the dating game, dating dozens of women, right? I'm definitely, not an incel as far as my history of sex, with women is concerned. Had lots of it. So, this is all just par for the course with what feminists do, because they try to, push an insidious agenda. They try to push an agenda that is supposedly wrapped in this nice velour of, veneer of, female empowerment and female equality and all this crap that they talk about, when in reality they're pushing something else. When in reality they are pushing, female rulership. They're pushing female power and control over men, right? It's not female empowerment in and of itself. It's female empowerment over men. They leave that part out, right? Women want to rule. These women want to rule. When you get to the core of their motivations, they want to rule, and they want to rule in a relationship, and they want control. They want you to do what they want. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and it's a very evil thing. And this is why it's so hard to find a quality woman, because all these women are, so many of these women are, influenced by this need to control, this need to, get their way, this need to try to dictate to others how to treat them and how to, and there even is advice out there and say, that says, well, you tell others how to treat you and all this it's just like, no, you should earn respect, not demand respect. I don't respect you just because you're a woman. I don't respect you just because there's a certain level of respect that we should all give each other as human beings. But if you do something disrespectful, such as be promiscuous, such as, lie, cheat, or manipulate, gaslight, right? Treat a man bad, like all the things that I've been through with women. If you do that, you really, in my mind, you're disqualified from respect. But see, all this kind of, these feminist blogs and these feminist websites, this is what they do. They say, well, it's my body, my choice. You should respect me for my choice. And it's like, I respect the fact that you have a choice. I wouldn't want to not give you a choice, but after you make a certain decision, after you do a certain action, I'm not obligated to respect you. If that action is not respectable, if that action is something that's despicable, if that action is something that, isn't moral or isn't on the up and up, why would I respect you after that? You see? But this is the type of brainwashing kind of thing go read these sites, go read these websites, go listen to what they're just type in feminist blog, go read it. It is propaganda after propaganda. It is brainwashing after brainwashing. They're telling these women what to think, and it's like, that's actually an enemy to men. These websites are enemies to men in general. If we want future good wives, if we want future good families, right? If we want to live in a good society with quality women, because women make up 50% of society, hello, right? And if they're being brainwashed by these insidious websites, by these evil websites that tell them to do this and do that, and this is how you manipulate a guy with sex, this is how you get a guy with money, and this is how you that's literal damage to our, to this fabric of our society, man. Right? And we don't talk about it because what you can't criticize is what rules over you. Right? That's what Voltaire said. Be careful who you can't criticize, because those are the ones who rule over you. So whenever you criticize women, if people come out of the woodwork to attack you, that means women rule. It means we're living in a gynocentric society where women are rulers, and men have to take that ground back. We have to fight for that back. And it starts with having standards. It starts with weeding out this insidious evil, which is, splintering into the fabric of what quality men and women, or the quality fabric that men and women should come together under, right? If you want to have a good marriage, you need to have quality people. If you want to have a good family, you need to have quality people. You need to have quality ingredients. If you want to make a good cake, you need to have quality ingredients. And if our ingredients are damaged, if all these young women are out sleeping around, which damages them, then we're not going to have quality families, which means we're not going to have quality children in the next generation, which means our society is going down. When you have people with bad character, when you have people out there who have bad morals, everything gets bad. It ruins everything. It ruins the fabric. What made our country so great in the past, of course, despite the racism, which was an evil skeleton in the closet, right, was people had character, people had morals, people weren't out. It used to be stigmatized to be a swinger. It used to be stigmatized to be promiscuous. It used to be something, I don't want that girl. She's loose and nasty, and I want a loving, quality, pure woman. Men used to want this. And we used to get it. We used to be able to get it. Now, I don't even though we might want it, I don't even know if we can get it anymore, because of these websites, because of things like this they're enemies to men. They're insidiously brainwashing women with propaganda to go do crappy stuff. These websites, the blogs, the magazines, the TV shows, right? Evil TV shows, like where all these men are vying for the love of this woman who's like 40 years old and she has a kid. Remember that show? I forget what it was called, but recent shows like The Bachelor or whatever. But there's like 5 dudes who were like, and they had to get her pregnant or they had to marry her or something like that. 5 dudes who were eligible bachelors who were vying for the marriage or pregnancy of this woman who was already pregnant. She was like 40, she had a kid already. Like, that's a woman's dream. Like, they're playing to what these women want, because most of these women out here are single moms. And all these simp beta guys are vying for her attention. Oh, hey, you know? It's like being a single mom, or excuse me, being a single woman without a kid is like a rarity these days. I mean, even a more rare thing would be to not be promiscuous. It's like finding a unicorn, right? But why do you think that is? Because of all these elements within our society. Anyways, appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.